So are people heeding the call of the climate strikers? Auckland Councillor Penny Hulse believes there is a climate emergency. I asked her if she went for a lie down in Queen Street at lunchtime today.
Sadly, I was at a meeting with Zone 1, Local Government New Zealand Zone 1. We were actually meeting about the subject of climate change. So no, I didn't get a chance to lie in Queen Street and join our wonderful young people in the protest.
But you are, it seems, hearing their message because they want central and local government to declare a climate emergency. Are you going to heed that call? Are you going to help them with that?
I'm taking a paper to my committee at the beginning of next month alongside our climate change action plan, and my paper will ask my colleagues to support the call for a climate change emergency declaration, and that will be done in conjunction with the signing off of our climate change action plan for consultation.
And what would that mean in practical terms to declare a climate emergency if they go for the idea?
You know, at first listen, people would think, what an empty and shallow piece of political nonsense. What it really means is that we're hearing the voices of our community and the rest of the world, really, and our youth, and saying we are in an emergency, but we're in an intergenerational emergency. We can't get away from the fact that things are changing rapidly around us and we have to adapt fast. And we also have to stop doing things that exacerbate climate change. So if you look at it in that context, it feels fine to declare an emergency. It says that we're going to put everything we do as a council, and we should put everything we do as a city through that first filter which says, is this going to make things better or worse?
So would it present any statutory or legal obligations to go with it, or would it just be making a symbolic declaration?
At the moment it's symbolic, but we are backing it up with the fact that we're also launching our climate change action plan as the start of a much deeper conversation with Aucklanders about just what the risks are, what the state of play in Auckland is, and what we need to do to address it. So we're saying let's, face up to the fact that we are in a climate change emergency, and these are the kind of things we can do. Does it mean, suddenly banning cars, putting everyone on bicycles and changing the way we run Auckland tomorrow? Absolutely not. Even though I'm sure the trolls on Facebook and on social media and on Talkback will, accuse us of that.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Penny. Even though you're saying it's symbolic, it doesn't mean you're going to wipe out all the cars in the neighbourhood and all the rest of it. Do you think some of your fellow councillors, they might freak out?
Part of it is how these things are presented, and having talked to Rachel Reese from Nelson, some of the people in Christchurch, this is happening around the country, and it doesn't appear to have freaked out either the citizenry or the individual councillors. And it's a matter of having a sensible conversation about what it means. What we're really saying is we're catching up with where business is at, with where the insurance industry is at. They're certainly taking this seriously. We're listening to our young people who lay down in Queen Street today, and we're taking it seriously as the first city of the Pacific who are the communities most impacted by climate change.
Well, you mentioned Nelson Council because obviously they have acknowledged a climate emergency, as has Environment Canterbury. But do you think you can get the numbers in your own council?
I think that these things rely on, people's own personal view and on their politics. I'd hope, though, however, that most people would see that they want to be on the right side of history, that, simply making political statements about, not believing in climate change are a thing of the past, and that we all want to, face up to the fact that we have to do something collectively. Will we have the numbers? Let's see at the meeting.
Because some of these young people today, and one of them in particular, has said that the adults are asleep at the wheel. Could people in your council be accused of being asleep at the wheel, at least some of them?
I hope not. Most of the councillors are there for the right reasons. They're there to look after their communities. They just see different ways of doing it, and some people think long term and they think intergenerationally. Some other people struggle with that. I guess at the meeting, that's where we'll, try and have those much wider conversations that are important ones for us to start having.
And that's Auckland Councillor Penny Hulse, who's taking a proposal to declare a climate emergency to Auckland Council next month.